So this is my sculpture. That's a question mark wrapped in barbed wire. And I was in the Army. I was in Iraq 2003 to 2004 as a cavalry scout. I connected with Robert shortly after riding my bicycle about nearly 19,000 miles around the country, and I was trying to figure out then what I was going to do after that. And a friend brought me out. I met Robert. Thought it was really cool. I had already known Bob, so did a program under a function that passed the sniff test, because if Bob was there, then I was okay being there too. And so, yeah, and then I got in, and the dragon looked like that, or it wasn't even quite there, and making some bends on it, and not really feeling like we were accomplishing anything at that time. And I had picked up a meat hook pulley, so like you would put a quarter of a cow on and slide it down a rail. Saw the sculpture in it, and the sculpture was me as a kid kind of tooling through the ditches and standing on an irrigation wheel, and then that tipping over. And so I made that sculpture, and from there then I began to know art and expression, or I started to tap into expressing myself, and that's led to some other sculptures, and that led to this sculpture, which came after I had made an ampersand that I put an animal trap on. And so I saw this steel ball in a pile, and I saw a question mark wrapped in barbed wire. And so that's that piece. The piece is called Questions Unanswered. Ultimately what it represents is tangling yourself questioning. Just the more your anxiety is spinning, and the tighter you get, the tighter you wrap yourself. And so that's ultimately what this piece is. I have a poem that best represents what this particular piece is to me, and so I'll read that just because I don't know that I can describe it too well. So this is Questions Unanswered. What is there to question? There lies the answer of a question to a question. Tangling and tightening, cutting and tearing, going deeper. Trapped. The skin hangs from your chest. With dull scissors I tried to remove it. A fall from grace never was and never will be. As life passes, we're all caught thinking we know, while we get strangled questioning. And one day we will carry the scars of questions unanswered, as we take our last breath, knowing there is no answer. So that's that sculpture. Usually when I start a project, I don't know what the expression is. To me, art is something that lives inside, taking an external presence. And somewhere along the process of building it, I wrote that down. I don't know if that's a poem or not. I call it the expression to this piece.
Good. I know this is your piece, but as far as the dragon and the team all working on the large project, do you have anything that you've been tasked with or been good at or been focusing on?
Well, I haven't been out there for a while, and there's a lot of reasonings for that. Sometimes it's just hard to be around this stuff all the time, But no, I haven't necessarily. I think I kind of, and then Robert allowed me to have the space when these projects were going on. I kind of became a little obsessed with these visions and these ideas coming to me and trying to have a platform or a space to work on them. And so initially that's what Robert gave me, that space for these guys to be working on something and I'd be working on something like that. I've mostly worked on the dragon. I connect with the storylines, but as their pace was going, I had this internal thumping where at that point I didn't have my own ability to make stuff. And so I was like, how can I can get this idea out, and how can I make this piece happen? So I'd be anxiously working on something in the corner. I've probably made 15 pieces of artwork now. And I got a few a mile long inside my head. I just want to talk art and talk expression and talk talk about what it looks like when you put your inside outside of you, and then visually see that. And then realize, I mean, that's kind of scary, you know, in front of people, and it's like, so that my insides are a tangled up question mark wrapped in barbed wire, you know? So, you know, it's interesting, but then it's like, I can't even hide from it now at this point. Yeah, I really think too, when you put something that's inside of you externally, you know, it's, you know, it's never the same. So, and then you're not the same. And then whatever that might be, it loses some of its power, you know? And it's like, when I get in that mode, I was like, oh, that's what that is. So, and it's not quite I might not stay there for days or whatever. So that's what art is for me. But that's all I got for these, if there's questions.